Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet.
What's up, gamers? Welcome back to another cool episode of the show.
Oh, God. Loud. Very attention-grabbing for the people who've already clicked on the link.
It's like onomatopoeia, but worse.
It's like I'm gonna pee.
Let's fucking go.
My name is Marshall. I'm joined by Trace and Jobe today, and we'd like to thank you for coming in, stopping by, and catching a listen for us, from us, however you want to say it. Trace, what did we watch this last week?
Man, I thought I could the intro, but Marshall took her on home.
Yeah, out back and...
All right, we watched Ender's Game. It asked Trace, but he decided to...
Maybe it should be called Andrew's Game.
I had my dog. I had my dog.
Andrew's his real name.
Yeah.
He just goes by Ender to be cool and
He's the main character.
Did y'all ever read the book?
No.
I don't think so, right?
Never knew it was
I'm not gonna say I'm like the number one source for this because I never read the book, but I did read the comic book spin-offs of the book, like the comic book adaptation of the book.
So I'm getting third-hand knowledge.
No, it's essentially the same thing, right? It's like the comic book is like the movie, if you think about it, right? It's just an adaptation, right?
So it's secondhand.
Yeah. It's
But
like the same.
but it's coming from you
What's
to
the point
me,
you're
so
getting
it's
at,
third-hand.
Marshall?
I've got some
I got
thoughts.
some insider knowledge. You might think you know what's going on.
The point is, he knows more than we do, and he's very excited.
No, I know more than you, therefore I'm your god.
It's true.
So consider that as an option.
This is coming out on Easter.
So, Ender's Game, loved it, had a great time. I think it's a fun movie. It's got a lot of depth to it, even though it doesn't really feel like it half the time, because you're like, ha, silly little man in space go wee, but it's a fun time. It's a good time. It's got some depth. Obviously, Jobe hates any movie with science in the name.
True. I think all movies, instead of science, the hero should just get a blessing from Christ the Lord to vanquish his enemies.
And then
All right,
start doing a
'cause-
cool sand dance.
For next week, we'll be watching The Passion of the Christ.
Oh my god.
Yeah, if that special ability was getting your fucking entrails spilt.
Owie.
So
Some
Jobe,
Trace. Well, okay. Yeah,
No.
Marshall.
No, it's fine. Do what you wanted to do. I've been talking too much already.
No, I was just going to ask Trace if he wanted to run through the fucking synopsis. But if you got something to say.
Marshall kind
Run
of
it
did that. Did you hear? He went wee through space.
Trace,
All right.
give us the tea, Trace.
Then again, Marshall did read the graphic novelization
That's
of the
true.
novel.
He probably remembers
Okay, I'm
much
gonna
more than
say
we do.
this so it's out there. I read Ender's Shadow like 4 times. I only read Ender's Game like once because I've already read Ender's Shadow at that point like 4 times.
The fuck?
Are you trying to hit your word count on an essay?
I'm just saying this is what happened. I'm telling the
I
truth,
read
Trace.
Ender's Shadow 4 times. I only read Ender's Game once because I read Ender's Shadow already 4 times.
Just in case you got lost in that first part. and
Thus,
you were
only
confused.
having me need to read Ender's Game once.
No, because
Due to the
Ender's
4th
Shadow
time.
was more intriguing to me at that point in my life.
Aww.
You dipshit. You piece of... You...
No, wait, whoa, don't say it.
You greedy dirtbag.
Dude.
Let it
Oh.
grow, let it grow.
Trace, you
We're gonna have to do
messaged
it.
us
Yeah.
earlier on the Snapchat that you wanted this movie to have more incest, less incest.
I hadn't decided.
Okay.
We'll discover that as we go, because I guess we're talking about that now.
All right. Cool.
Alrighty. Our movie focuses
My
on...
ears are fucking nasty, man. Ew.
Marshall,
Look
what
at
the
your
fuck?
fucking and like
Trace was just about to do the synopsis, and you interrupted him.
Nah, fair is fair.
Like, you were looking at your earbuds and you're just like, ugh.
No.
This is fucking gnarly, man.
Trace, you gotta start talking now. His ADHD's acting up.
No, this is good. This is content.
Go on, Trace, speak, boy.
Alrighty.
Come on, Trace, hurry up.
Okay. Sorry, I was reading. Our movie focuses on Ender Wiggin, a genius prodigy who quickly climbs the ranks of a program dedicated to finding the future admiral of Earth's great Starfleet, and to lead
Andrew.
And to lead them against the evil forces of the Formics, a large ant-like insect race. Years ago, the Formics were defeated and contained by a Mazer Rackham, who sacrificed himself to kill a queen. As Ender is quickly isolated from his peers and picked on by the threatened superior officers because he's much too smart for him, the heads of the program are impressed by his unique way of thinking and his willingness to do anything to achieve his goals, violently. They quickly bring him up to command school, where he will do continuous drills with his team until they win this game-like simulation. And during their graduation test, Ender commands his fleet in an unorthodox way in order to destroy the homeworld of the Formics, but at the cost of his entire fleet. Ender wins the game, and all the kids are very excited to have passed the test until they are shown the aftermath of the simulation. They find that this whole thing was real, and they sacrificed real carriers with over 1,000 soldiers on board in order to commit mass genocide on the Formics' home planet, completely desolating their homeland and just ridding the galaxy of them. Ender starts freaking out and shouting about moral high ground and stuff when it comes to winning, and then he's quickly sedated. While he's sedated, Ender discovers the dreams he's been having was actually a Formic trying to communicate with him telepathically. He leaves the base to go on an adventure through the old Formic colonies, finding a singular being who is guarding an egg holding a queen Formic. He takes the egg and a ship as an admiral, promising to find it a new home so that the race may rebuild and have a future once again.
Wow.
Okay. So is it like mass genocide? Because I feel like genocide is already like the mass of it,
I don't know.
Because
Because we kind of, I mean, like genocide is just kind of the, you're done.
Well,
But then there's mass genocide, people also say. So
I
I don't know if
would-
it's a huge difference.
I would argue it is mass genocide, because a genocide refers to wiping out an ethnic group. And I'm sure the Formics had their own ethnicities, but he wiped out all ethnicities of Formics, so...
That's true.
Oh, I think eventually in the series they start referring to it as xenocide because he wipes out the entire alien race. I think
that
one
could
of the
be-
books is just called Xenocide.
Instead of genocide, I think we could do with a bit more
Je ne sais quoi.
appleside. Or...
Oh, Jobe's cooking over there.
Is he?
I like
well,
this.
my bit probably would have had better timing had I not been spoken
Stupid.
over by a certain...
Oh.
Hey, you can
You were
cross
saying,
off,
Marshall?
you just cross that one off your list, Jobe.
Yeah, get rid of that bit.
Of bits. For those who didn't know, Jobe wrote down some bits to try out this episode, and he's gonna start working through
I
them.
was not going to call you out. I was
All
gonna
right.
let it
No,
be.
it's fine. I was going to bring it up anyway.
No, I was gonna say something else.
You just let me know when you want me to go through the first one.
I'll give you the code word, which is baboing.
Okay, I'll listen up for it.
I think this is a good adaptation.
Baboing.
of-
All right, so for this first bit, we're going to need to assign some roles.
You're fucking with us.
Trace, you can be Ender. Marshall, you can be Harrison Ford.
I was about to say, if you say Bonezo, I was gonna start throwing hands.
Whoa.
Nah, I'll be Ben Kingsley.
Okay.
I called this bit sexy role play.
I hate this already.
So why don't you two start? Not much.
It's your,
What are we supposed to do? It's your bit.
Hi, Harrison Ford. I just committed mass genocide,
No, kid. We won, damn it.
but
We
I'm
won!
sad.
Oh, sedate his ass, boys.
Oh, yeah, I was just about to say this isn't very sexy, but then you stated him.
Oh god.
Now, take him to my room. I think that'd be the best spot for him right now. Ben Kingsley, you come along too, little boy.
You know, I'm gonna take
Oh.
a quick pause on this because we're talking about it being sexy when Ender is in fact a child, and I just don't think I'm cool with it.
Okay, no more
See-
bit. This one's bad, Joe. It's bad. Bad bit.
See,
Cross it off.
I don't like the
problem
pedophile angle.
I wrote that fully ready for someone to point that out before we made it anywhere with that bit. But you guys were just like, fuck it.
we were hoping we were giving you the benefit of the doubt.
I was hoping that the sexy part of the title was just a title, and then you went, it's not actually sexy anyway. Oh, you sedated the boy.
Okay. Anyways, the movie is a good movie. I just wish I don't think it's portrayed enough. When he becomes leader of the dragon army in the middle, and he's leading the whole army, right? To like the end, and they're like the general's changing, the colonel's changing the rules or whatever, and it's like, okay, there's not really much shown to us, but like in the graphic novel adaptation, essentially it's like they're supposed to fight like once a week in battles, and then it's like, okay, it's once every other day for Dragon Army, and then it's multiple times in the same day. And then they start jumping it up to like fighting, you know, one battle, and then it's multiple people at the same time. That's when it's like, it's their progression. It just kind of seems it went from like no like worry, no what do you say? What's the word? Because they're talking about
urgency.
No urgency. Like they're talking about like they need a decision, and then they like just like super chill the whole time, and then they're immediately like, nah.
The pacing of that did seem weird because it did seem like there wasn't a good progression of time for us. Like we saw them in bed maybe 2 or 3 times, which I feel like almost leads you to believe he was in this like children's boot camp for 3 days, and then boom, he's in command now.
Yeah, and then the other thing is they don't show, I feel like, how much besides like the 1 or 2 battles he's in. His ingenuity in it, like in the books, he's like the only person to bring in outside objects, like using like rope and bungee cords. You see the rope at one point, but they do other things that are just super unorthodox because like you only see him command like one battle really, and then the other one's like, hey, what if we shot them from below so they didn't see us, huh?
Oh, and then that comes back in the battle against the Formex.
Right? But yeah, what do y'all think of the movie?
Jobe?
No,
No.
I asked.
No, I get it.
Ask
I
Jobe.
get it. No, I get it.
This way,
though.
he can naturally work in a bit if it's a good bit. Naturally.
I'm
Joe. This is the natural-
scared. I'm scared to let him.
Naturally, Joe.
No, don't worry.
No, I got this.
I only wrote one.
You only wrote one bit down with sexy role play.
And the bit was for us to stop the bit.
Let me finish, you fuckers.
No.
All right, you know what?
Finish with the sexy role play. Ayo.
Yes, true.
I wrote only one bit where the punchline was pedophilia. All the other ones are not pedophilia related.
In this climate,
In this economy, yeah, it's
with
a little
the
hard,
whole, with all Dr. Disrespect going on.
What?
Oh, you haven't heard about that?
Jobe's not a gamer.
Yeah, Dr. Disrespect, I guess, got outed as a pedophile, and everybody hates him now. You don't know Dr. Disrespect? Wow.
The doctor, Jobe.
Honestly, it's probably better that you don't. I never watched him. I just knew
on.
existed.
So we all
Pedophile.
made the wacky observation that Dr. Ender here looks like young Sheldon.
Yeah. I don't know how much he looks like him, but he definitely reminds me of him.
It gives young Sheldon.
It does.
Also, the kid from the movie in the Spiderwick Chronicles. You know the one.
I haven't seen that movie since it came out. So.
I don't think
He
I've
plays
ever
the good
seen
doctor. So.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Oh, he is a surgeon.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Anyway, this leads me to my second bit. if this movie had a laugh track, where would you insert it to be the funniest?
Right after they start showing the simulation, showing
Yeah.
that they
That'd be
committed
good, that'd be
xenocide.
good.
Right, right as he's like crying because he realized he just exterminated an entire race, and then they sedate him, and then he starts laughing.
I would definitely insert it after Gonzo cracks his head.
Bonzo.
Ever since Bozo cracked
Bonzo.
his skull in the shower.
And he's just sitting there going,
Bonzo.
Yeah, that definitely.
Christ.
Bonzo. Anyway,
Yeah,
Ender kills multiple children.
Well, I don't. Well, okay. In the
No,
book,
he's not
does it
dead.
confirm? Okay, because in this, it's just like he's
just
like, he's in a
paralyzed for
coma.
life.
Oh, good.
Well, I would imagine that the Formics had children.
Did y'all notice in that little fun fight scene, he lubed himself up beforehand so he was nice
Yeah.
and slick?
That
Oh,
was
we're back
clever.
to sexy roleplay. Cool.
No, we're done with the sexy role play.
I don't want to talk about sexual children. I want it on record
Why did you have to call the children sexual?
because you were sexualizing it.
Anywho,
Mhm.
Jobe and Trace,
Yep.
like, we have a Snapchat group with me, us, and my wife, and usually it's just Jobe
Our-
going, "Hey guys, can we hang out and talk?" Or it's me sending you some memes or just saying,
Yeah.
"Hey guys, you should watch this." Today it was me posting multiple paragraphs on
Oh yeah.
the brother-sister relationship between Ender, Peter, and Valentine. Who we only see Peter for like 3 minutes,
Yeah,
and he
and
cements
he's just
himself
beating
as
the shit out of
as a dick.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey Ender, what if we played fucking
Formics versus
What if we played?
astronauts.
I beat the shit out of the
astronauts and
ant.
aliens? You could be the ant. Ooh, let me get you. I could kill you right now, boy."
Yeah, it's such a weird scene. Like the whole vibe is just
Weird.
off.
I mean,
I think it's mainly because Peter is classified as a sociopath.
It's
so he
Yeah.
mainly
obviously-
because Peter definitely did
Dinklage.
sexy roleplay.
All right. So anyway, I feel like everybody can almost relate to it. Like, it's not to that degree, but like everybody I feel like has had that time in their life of like, you're really good at a video game, and maybe your sibling or someone who's like sibling-like a close friend isn't. And you're like, hey, let's play this game that I know, and then they just and then you just wipe the floor with them. But instead of doing that, he just goes, "Do you want to play this cool game?" Yeah, and then he just starts beating the shit out of his little brother
I did
because
that
they
to
don't have
Jobe
video
once.
games. Nah.
Yeah,
we
we were playing Mario Party 3.
Yeah, Mario Party is a bitch of
That-
a game.
that
Let me tell you
tracks.
that much. It sucks.
I'm
But
much
it's
better
also
at Mario Party
I mean,
than
I
Jobe.
think they got to have Peter in there, even if it's super awkward.
Sorry, go on.
They got to have Peter in there for a bit, just even if it's super awkward to show like where he is, and then Valentine who she is as a character, and then be like, yeah, Ender's like not those, but also in the middle. But then Valentine's also kind of a bitch, and she's like, Peter, stop! I'm gonna go get mom, and then like nothing happens. So she
Yeah.
obviously didn't go get
It's
mom.
like, say sorry for your brother. No. All right. He's
You
our
got
third
me.
anyway. Who gives a
I was
shit?
just bluffing.
Nah,
Actually,
I mean,
real quick.
yeah,
So Valentine, she's the compassionate one, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
And then they're like, go out on the lake with old Ender, give him a little pep talk. And she's like, but what about what he wants? But then she goes out and just has the pep talk and is just like, Ender, you gotta win this war for us. I thought she was like,
Well,
compassionate
because
the whole thing.
there's the compassion for Ender of this is not what he wants. Also, the same thing of, hey, if he doesn't do this, we might get wiped out as a species. So there's a bigger.
And I don't know,
Thing.
Harrison Ford's character does bring that up to her on the car ride over, but I feel like, again, that's one of those things, like, in the book, they probably went into a little bit more detail of the conversation that they had on the way to go talk to Ender, but here it was just like, well, what if Ender doesn't want to do it? And he's just like, well, it's either he does it or we all die. And she goes, shit, you're right.
I mean, I'm assuming that's why they start doing the thing where it's like they're tricking him and thinking it's a simulation,
Yeah.
and not like the actual like.
Well, yeah,
Fight.
because he thinks he might have killed somebody, and he's already not okay with it.
Yeah. So then he's like, no, we'll trick the kids. It's fine. And then that one counselor's like, listen, back in the day, you couldn't recruit someone if they were 15. He's like, don't give a damn. I'll put all the kids in the war.
I'll kidnap 1,000 children before I let this company die.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like,
I was thinking it.
It's such a
But I said it, so I get the credit.
Cool.
It's not like a stereotype. It's been played out a bunch where it's like, do the ends justify the means kind of thing. But like, it's one of those where it's like, damn, does it? You know, like in this specific situation.
Well, I don't know, because like, I feel like we are supposed to just be along with the idea that humanity is in the wrong on this one. Like, everything they show us of the Formics, at least in the movie, is kind of portraying them as, yeah, their home world's kind of fucked due to overpopulation, and they're just looking to expand so that they can continue to survive. Maybe they pushed a little past the boundaries that humanity was comfortable with, or maybe there was a small interaction with them that didn't go very well, and then that kind of sparked something. But it really just seemed like they were colonizers.
Yeah, I mean, they did just straight up invade, like. There was a shipment coming in, and
well, that I didn't know if that was was that Earth though?
I'm pretty sure because they were fighter jets, so like I don't.
That makes sense, yeah.
And then I'm assuming in the 50 years since then they just like started, getting saucy.
I don't know, because how do they contain them to the planet so fast afterwards, though?
Because they found out about the whole queen thing.
That could be. I don't know. I didn't see a whole lot of context. My tiny brain did not pick up a lot of context on that, so I just assumed it was just like, hey, humanity overreacted because they saw things that looked different.
Yeah, I think it's just a combination of that plus they like definitely were like colonizing and like not responding, and so it's like, hey, you're gonna walk onto my lawn, start speaking to me in fucking alien language, I'm gonna put a fucking F-15 up your butthole. You know what I'm saying? But I don't even think the books go into like the before. It's all about like the consequences and shit. Like, they put Ender on, not Ender, they're just like, Ender Wiggin is a fucking war criminal. And Valentine's all like, actually, he was only like 15. It's not really his fault. And they're like, he still did it though. He didn't know. He still did it though. But
yeah, but his parents didn't sign his permission slip, so it doesn't count.
They signed the permit for having one. Maybe they just didn't get it renewed.
Yeah, it just seems like it's kind of an accident. Like the first quote unquote invade. Yeah. The first quote unquote invasion was due to a Formic scouting ship going in, just kind of making its way into the solar system, and the way that they their ships have exhaust ports just happened to mess with human radio signals, and it accidentally destroyed a mining ship.
I mean,
that's.
I know. Well, yeah, I know that's kind of like, hey, oh fuck.
Wars have been started for less. I feel
if Germany accidentally blew up a battleship in the middle of the Atlantic, regardless of the intent, we would go to war. But still, it's still kind of an accident. Still,
Trace, you've been alive for about 45 years on this planet.
Roughly.
You should know humans as a species tend to overreact.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying, though. I feel like we're supposed to understand throughout this movie that the humans are kind of just shitty.
I think it's just the adults. The kids are kind of cool, except for Bonzo. Kind of a dick.
I feel like you can't. Well, I don't know how old Bonzo is supposed to be because he looks like he's 35, and Ender looks like he's 8. But I mean, I feel like you can't really fault the children too much because they still haven't had fully developed brains, other than Ender, who has the mind of a 40-year-old, I guess. But everybody else is just like, yeah, they're still just kids. Like, they just want to fit in. They have cliques. They want to mess around. Other than Bonzo, who just wants to win because he's not
Ender
used to
wants
losing.
to win. Don't say Ender doesn't want to win. Ender wants to win.
I never said Ender doesn't want to win. I said it's just that he just doesn't lose ever.
Speaking of,
he will kill a man.
Ender. Oh yeah. So this movie, I feel, promotes bullying in schools.
Yes,
as it should.
Okay, so. How would you bully Ender if you were in his academy?
I wouldn't sit around talking about bullying him. I would just sneak up on him and bash him in the back of the head. I'm speaking
This
specifically
seems
about
less like bullying and more just like an isolated event
I'm
of
speaking
assault.
specifically about Bonzo or Bozo, however you want to pronounce it.
Bonzo.
Trying to
Bonzo
kill,
is ready.
trying to kill Enders. Where I'm specifically thinking about, like, I'm not walking into the showers and going, "Hey, I'm gonna get your ass." I'm just gonna walk up behind him while the shower's running and just bonk.
And that's why you will never be promoted to the title of honorable warrior.
We don't need they don't need honorable people here. They just need somebody who's gonna kill.
Well, I think
Because then they would have just let Peter fly the boat.
No, but he was stupid. No, but it was because people don't like him.
Yeah, I said that.
Marshall,
I think it's
quoting Marshall. Citation.
My idea. Anyway,
Marshall's mad because I'm giving him the credit.
I
you were
think
thinking?
I think it's implied that the Colonel definitely not forced, influenced Bonzo to go beat the shit out of Ender, because it's like the thing they talked about when they found talking to Ender, the counselor. She's like, "We never should have left you alone with him or let you be allowed to be alone with him." And then the Colonel's like, "Shut the fuck up, move away."
Shut the fuck up.
I feel like it's reminiscent of the beginning where they remove the monitor from Ender,
Yeah.
and they want to see what he does without the supervision. It's the same thing. They want to see what he does in this situation and how he handles it. Because right after that is when they send him to command school.
Well,
Yeah,
I feel like they definitely are wanting him on Bonzo's radar, because like they wouldn't just go, "Hey, let's send him over to this unit who we know this kid's kind of an asshole," and then immediately give him his own unit and like, "Hey, remember, now you're the dragons. Go fight Bonzo twice."
Yeah. It's
Once, I don't remember.
Like I was telling you guys earlier, Colonel Graff has been keeping an eye on the Wiggin family ever since Pappy Wiggin said, "Nah, man, I don't want to go to battle school." And then Colonel Graff said, "Fine. You will become my prize bull in America. Go breed and have kids." And so he always assumed that one of them was going to be a banger. But
So why did they need to get a permit to have a third?
that's because it's the law, Jobe.
So you mean to tell me
Fucking
Colonel Graff hasn't ever
bullshit.
twisted the laws?
Well, I think it's also because the dad is like the seventh, so it's already like stretched thin there, like the seventh kid. So it's like he really shouldn't have been born because he was born like illegally. Anyways, also what I was saying, the urgency. Fuck, I was gonna say something really cool and snazzy. I don't feel like the whole fun thing that all the trailers were showing was all about the battle school and all these fights, and then you barely see any of the battle school and fights. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's just as well for me. I don't know. The way the competition runs, especially with the it's just, oh, if you get your side to the other side uninjured or whatever, you win. It's like, oh, great, it's the fucking golden snatch from Harry Potter. It's just another excuse to make it so it doesn't matter how well the team is doing. The pro tag just needs to be the pro tag.
Well, and I don't know. It seems a little weird. You shoot people, but they're still kind of in the match. So yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you just encase yourself with a bunch of corpses and just go?
There's no way they were the first team to do that.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh my god, Ender, you cracked the code. That's why the dragons are the best now, because Ender figured out this flawless strategy on his own." I'm just like, who else wouldn't have thought of this?
Jobe, would you say Ender is an honorable warrior?
No.
No.
Did you say it just for me?
He is.
I got a bit. No, I got a bit going.
Right.
I got a bit going.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta write it down though.
Could you say Ender is an honorable warrior?
This is great. This is all great. Madison, cut this so it looks way more organic. Like Jobe's just doing it back, out of pocket.
Madison, I need you to insert just awkward silences throughout the next 40 minutes.
Please just say Ender agree with me. Ender could be considered an honorable warrior in some circumstances.
Ender Wiggins, for his crimes against humanity, will not be granted the title of Proud Warrior.
No, you have to say that he could be considered an honorable warrior by some people.
Though to some, Ender Wiggins may be considered an honorable warrior.
Now, if you'd imagine, he was in Dragon Army, so would that make him the Dragon Warrior?
Fuck off.
Why did he need to be honorable? You could have just said he was a warrior. What was that build up?
I was hoping Jobe wouldn't take 9 years to say the damn thing.
I thought the
Okay. I'm on both your sides here. Jobe asked you to do one goddamn thing and you walked it. You fucking whittled around it. Marshall, why'd you have to get so specific? You could have just said warrior.
No, because
The key word is warrior and dragon.
He kept saying honorable warrior earlier, and I was like, oh, this will be like a reference, you know?
Not at all what I picked up on.
Now it's just a fucked bit.
Anyway, so yeah, Ender's not that smart. It's
Bean?
like
Bean's pretty cool.
Bean is all right. But
Bean is the
Ender's
protagonist
it's like
Ender's
they're
Game.
implying.
No one says that. That's not a saying.
No,
Well, it probably is in the future.
He grew up on the streets, Jobe. He ran
Like
with
a
gang.
bean
People
would.
say not worth a bean. instead
No,
of
he
things
grew up like a
fuckhead.
bean would.
No, because all the gangs that he kept trying to join, they said, we don't need you because you're so small. You're not worth a bean because we don't have food to give you.
They-
You're not worth it. 'Cause you're not gonna
Bean
do
is their
anything for us."
currency.
And then he came up with this brilliant idea to band some other little misfits together and beat the shit out of a big old dude so that he would protect them. And
That's
he's
the
like, "Hey, guys,
spinoff. Bean's
guys."
game.
why don't we beat the shit out of this big stupid ugly fucker, right?
Ooh.
And then he'll protect us. And they're like, why don't we beat up this guy with the limp? And he's like, I don't think we should do that. And then they beat up the guy with the limp, and he's all like, you're right, I'll protect you. And then he like systematically starts killing everyone. And Bean's like, hey, Colonel, can I get the fuck out? And Colonel's like, very well.
Roll Tide. The
So
takeaway from this is
Bean is-
Ender invented a shield. Is basically what we're getting at with that.
And another thing, when he gets in the mind game and
He's a mouse.
he just like immediately jumps in both and goes, "This is fucking stupid. The shit sucks." But
This game's the
continues
worst.
to play. You mean to tell me none of those little psychotic children thought to try to attack the giant?
No, it's
I don't think that, and I don't think
It's
many people had
different for
access
each-
to it.
it's one, yeah, it's different for each person. Like when Bean comes up, he's like, what you playing? A game? Oh, neat. Can I watch? But also it's
wow.
different for each person.
I don't
That's
think
what
it
the
was
counselor
Bean.
kept saying.
I think that's a lie.
A lie.
A lie.
But the counselor's like, it's different for each
Lie,
person.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
But
lie,
also,
lie.
it's another thing where they crammed it in so quick. Like his whole thing
Yeah,
is
it
he keeps trying the different cups for like weeks or months, right? Like it's a long thing, and then
Oh,
eventually
Okay,
it
that makes more
Wow.
sense.
goes into the eye, right? Like, but I think the way they show it is just like, damn, this kid's kind of fucked up. But if you like,
Okay, but wait. The way they say no child's ever done that before implies that it's the same scenario that most, if not all, the players get.
I'm
that-
assuming because it's they only let it to people that they need to watch or something like that. I'm
That-
not saying like
Yeah.
nobody ever played the game. I'm just saying it's probably like a.
I'm just
selective amount.
saying the scene would have been more realistic
Real world.
had Ender tried to Ender tried to like roll into the cheese wedge and like clip through the bottom of the map or something.
No, he's got a point actually. Ender probably wasn't a gamer. You know, the reason they didn't give it to Bernard because Bernard seems
Bernard's
like
an
a slutty
idiot.
discard kind of guy. He'd be like,
Card.
"Oh, look, actually, if you take a step onto the table with only your front paws and start the interaction with the giant, but leave your back paws off, you can backpedal and then go under the table." And I'm like,
What you're
I'm
gonna
like,
need to do
sit-
is grab a food tray, start running directly into the wheel of cheese. It's gonna start smacking you in the face, but also the cheese at the same time until you clip through the wall.
yeah, I think what Joe was saying was like, Ender is supposed to seem smart, but a lot of things he does is just kind of like common sense.
Obvious.
Yeah, I don't know if like maybe that's written intentionally to make it seem like we're more in the character with him, but like all of it does just seem like everybody's like, this is the Einstein of this generation. He's the best of the best of the best. And we're like, the kid put other kids into a ball to shield the other kid.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like in the books you might get a better understanding of like, okay, he actually like thinks about some things. They kind of explain more of why he does some things, you know. A couple of big ones when he like starts his army, right? He tells everyone, it's like, oh, this is how we're bunking, and they're like, no, that's not how we do it in other armies. He's like, that's how I do it in my army, but there's no like explanation for it.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, I'm doing it because this. It's just, I'm not gonna be like other commanders. Why not? Get to bed. Okay.
Because I think like in the books he actually has like a reason and it makes sense, and then he has another thing where he splits up his people into like a different amount of squads than most armies or stuff. So it like he has other things that he does that actually makes him seem a little more intelligent and does things differently.
In this, it just seems like it has the classic movie adaptation syndrome where it just doesn't flow as well with it, because he really kind of just, when he says shit, it sounds like it's supposed to be really cool, but it just kind of comes across as dumb.
Please.
What?
Yeah, Jobe.
The fucking scene when they first get to battle school and Harrison Ford's like swimming up in his little zero grab, and there's like ha ha ha, and he's like, what the fuck is so funny? It's like, well, you probably think we're the horizontal ones.
And you're like, is that funny?
And Harrison Ford goes, by God, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard.
Anybody else think it's funny?
What?
No, sir, but it is. Laugh.
Masses, you didn't think it was funny? You clearly don't get it.
But like in their final fight scene, they have the whole thing where they're doing the drones around the big mothership, and Bean is like, Captain, this isn't gonna, the shield's not gonna hold forever. And he's like, we don't need forever. Yeah, clearly. But Bean is telling you, this won't last very long. We need to get shit done now. He's not saying that this needs to last until eternity.
Why the fuck did they need I guess we'll just call it what the movie calls it, like a tactician, a tactical master, Sun Tzu's Art of War motherfucker. They have a weapon of mass destruction that can just obliterate the planet.
Okay, yeah, and they're like, okay,
you need a clear shot.
Right.
Reaction that spreads across the whole planet. You need to shoot one of them.
I'm with Jobe. I understand.
It recharges in 2 minutes.
I understand that it recharges.
How are we losing this war?
Make 3 of them, and all right, cannon 1.
You have $80 billion.
Clearly they do, because they can just destroy it.
We spend trillions in defense every year,
and we also just
launching children to space,
and we also just rammed it into the fucking planet. There's all the money gone. Clearly they have the money to waste.
Fuck off, death laser.
Either we waste the money, or we spend the money and put it towards at least one more cannon to shoot interchangeably, and then they just fucking come home.
There's one poor accountant who's just sitting there, and he's like, not in like process whatsoever. He just has like expense report across his desk, and he's like, you let a 15-year-old pilot $80 billion. And then he fucking crashed it.
Hey.
Insurance does not cover this.
I understand where your problem, Johnson, but you should have seen it. It was fucking cool.
No, you don't understand. He's in control.
He was in complete control. You can't stop him when he's in control, otherwise we would have lost the war.
Everybody turn around really quick, please. Joe, we can do Capri Sun break.
Yeah.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Thanks for joining us.
Action!
Trace, we had such good flow, such great energy.
Thanks for joining us on that Capri Sun break. If you want to listen to what happens on the Capri Sun break, I don't know, fucking cry about it, I guess.
Talk to our producer about it, because she has all the files.
We're not setting up a Patreon. We're not even pulling double digits right now.
No, but if you, the listener, go out and forcibly kidnap 50 people and make them listen to it, that's 50 other people that can listen to this wonderful, beautiful, artistic masterpiece, essentially, of a podcast. Anyways, we were bitching about Ender not being a super genius, but I feel like it's also implied, right? Like Ender is smart,
Yeah.
allegedly in the story,
It's implied.
right? But everyone else is also supposed to be like really smart.
I mean,
compared to
yeah.
like the rest of the world.
I would assume it's a super intelligent program, thus those kids would have to have a higher intellect than average.
Right? Like they have to be very smart kids, but
Mhm.
they're like they seem like idiots next to Ender, who
Yeah.
seems like a normal kid.
It's maybe what they're not telling us is that the population from the first war is low, so kids are the only people that they can get. All the soldiers previous have died, and they now need
Like
children.
they were like when they were talking about doing like math equations and shit for like that one little bit where they're like in class
Oh,
and doing,
yeah.
like rocket science, but they never even use that. It's fucking command school. He just says go here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
I mean, he does tell the one kid to pump the throttle to account for the gravitational pull, but then they crash into each other. So
Yeah.
I guess Ender really is the smartest kid on Earth.
I
Well-
mean, there's also the one where he's like, "Oh, I want hyperbolic
Time chamber.
orbits
Time
of
chamber.
with hyperbolic orbits of
Time
drones and an
chamber.
offset." Now I gotta wonder, were the drones actually drones or were they actually like homeboys? You know what I'm saying?
That one seemed like they might have just been drones.
But there was people on the carriers. You thinking?
Yeah, like
But then, like-
almost maintenance or something.
But then who were the other people?
They were the drone pilots.
Yeah,
The
that's.
drone pilots.
But there's
Why
a
the
lo-
fuck-
but there seemed like there was so few pilots comparatively to like the thousands
they're,
of drones.
like-
Maybe there's only like maybe that's how many drones are active at a time, but each transport carries like enough so each could have like 5 lives.
Or maybe like each pilot is
fuck, I
like
died. Now I'm back to
controlling
spawn.
several drones, like a squadron, and they just move together.
Yeah, that would make
In
sense.
different formations.
That would be a lot. Those people would have to be real fucking smart and intuitive, because that would get
Yeah.
very disorienting.
That's why they're all super geniuses, and then they got everyone
And-
stupid,
and
and
then
then they
Ender.
put Ender in.
Super powered minds.
I know. I just think the thing where
Ender.
Ender's like, once I know my enemy fully, I love them, but then I fucking kill them. I'm like, you've never fucking talked to a
If
former.
I
You've
kill
seen one in your
someone, I
dream.
love
Like,
them.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I understand the idea that if you know your enemy so much, then you'll understand them and you could discern some, not love essentially, but you'll understand
Some
why they do
passion.
it, their motive, compassion. But like, he saw one in a game and then another one in a dream, but he never like talked to one. He just like wrestled
Yeah.
one or something like that, right?
Which was pretty cool.
He said, "We wrestle you."
No, that was a spider. Or not a spider, a
Oh.
snake, a cobra. And then his brother went,
Listen.
"You're a killer now, Harry."
Yeah,
All I'm saying is, who developed that game?
Bandai
You-
Namco.
Ubisoft.
No, Ubisoft would have more. Go here, collect
Oh, yeah.
46 Formic bones.
Go get 73 sea shanties. Okay, but like the sibling dynamic is a little weird, and I'm gonna look. We talked about it. It is just young Sheldon though, because it's like he's the youngest
he's got the
of
brother
an
and the
older brother
sister.
who's a meathead, and then the sister who cares too much. Like it's weird, and then they have I don't know. The brother dynamic is obviously interesting, but him and Valentine's relationship is just. It's weird how they interact and how close they are. They act like they're just like way too buddy, and I feel like I've never really met anybody who's that buddy with their sibling before. To me,
I
it
mean-
seemed very forced.
Maybe, but I guess if you think about it, he's got 2 siblings. One wants to kill him. The other one wants to make sure
Wants
he's
to
not
kiss
killed.
him.
One tells only truths, the other tells only lies.
One tells truths of "I'm gonna kill you." The
Yeah.
other one tells truths of "Please don't kill him. He's my brother." And he's gonna be like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't hang out with the sociopath and hang out with the chick.
The one tells lies of "I don't want to kiss you." Weird.
Okay, side tangent that y'all are gonna
Yeah.
hate me for.
Good.
So that bit, that whole like the guards tell truths and lies thing.
Yeah.
There, it's you see it
Okay.
forever, right?
This is not what the side bit was going to be. Go on.
You see it like 30 million times, but people always get
Yeah.
it wrong. The whole point of the bit for that is you can only ask one question. Because there'll be times like, oh, there's a guard. One of them tells lies. One of them tells truths. How do you get through the door? Well, obviously, you just truths. One of them tells truths. How do you get through the door that they're guarding? Well, obviously, you just be like, what's 2 + 2? One of them's going to say 5. You say, okay, he's lying, right? It has to be a certain limited number of guesses. It's one. Unless you're Yu-Gi-Oh! In which there are two brothers. They're fighting in a duel with Yugi and Joey to get through the doors. And there's 2 doors, and then there's some real fucking shit or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's a good amount of questions you could ask to get that to sort of like, is this an arm? Yes. No, it's that guy.
See, but that's why you have to specify.
Am I wearing a shirt?
Isn't the thing the one question you're supposed to ask is like, hey, if I ask him this, what will his answer be?
Yeah, or something like that. But that's besides the point.
Are you the liar?
Ender would have killed them both and just opened up both doors anyways.
And then Harrison Ford would have been in the other room like, oh my god!
This kid!
How does he do it?
I love him!
Okay.
This kid kicks ass!
Another Ender hater moment. Remember when they're like,
homies hate Ender.
When Mazer Rackham finally shows him the full clip of like what happens when they destroy the queen, like he blows up the ship, because they're like, Ender's like, we never actually see what happens, so like, how did you actually figure it out? And then he blows up, and Mazer's like, are you not seeing the pattern, Ender boy? And he's like, no. He's like, he's like, have you considered what animal or insect are they most compared to? He's like, ants, a queen. I'm like, dude, that's like the first logical step.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy. This takes place in the future. Like, Independence Day has to exist in this movie.
Like, I don't mean to You really got Marshall on that one.
Dude, Independence Day is such a good fucking
Let's watch that one next. I don't mean to profile, but if we know that the aliens look like ants, why wouldn't your first suspicion go, maybe there's a queen? Even if you're wrong, the first question should be, there's probably a queen.
You're going to see a human as an alien and be like, oh yeah, he looks like a monkey, you know, like...
They're gonna group up.
Troops. Frieza even says monkey in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, man.
But is he talking to Saiyans or he's talking to humans when he calls them?
He's talking to Saiyans because they have the tails.
Well, some of them
traditionally.
Well, they're all born with tails.
Yeah,
some of them do.
Well, Marshall's actually right with that. Eventually, a different universe is not born with tails. Anyway, so...
Okay, so I was just supposed to know about a whole nother universe.
Yes, the fuck?
That's why you're not in Ender's Game.
Yeah, because you're not smart enough
to know about the parallel.
You're not smart like
universe.
Ender. You'd be to this day, you'd still be a mouse on your little iPad, going at each little cup, going...
I'd be a level 1 crook. Yeah, Ender's over here, level 100 paws.
And he steals your girlfriend, like those cool ads.
Okay, but like Haley Steinfeld was definitely like 7, 8, 9 years older than everybody, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Fucking Bonzo was supposed to be 13 in this. The actor at the time was almost 20. But he looks like a... I know that's a thing, you know? But he looks like he's in his mid-30s. Like, he that guy just grows up, like, quickly. And I don't know, maybe it's because he's, like, only 4'3", but...
Rats along his back.
But, like, he just looks way too old to be playing a 13-year-old, regardless of if he was only 6 or 7 years older than he's said to be. Like, we're expecting this guy to look like a kid. I grew up with a kid who, by sophomore year, he had a full mustache and beard and just, like, almost 6'3", and he was, like, hit puberty 3 times already. It was crazy.
That's not healthy.
No, I know, right?
What
point are you getting at?
Because the first point, you make it sound like... You want kids to look like kids.
No.
You say kids cannot look like kids in real life.
My thing is, I know that guy wasn't a high schooler. He was planted there by the government. You can't expect me to believe that kid was a sophomore.
So, Here's another scene I fucking hated.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, you remember the drill sergeant? He comes in and all right, Yankees.
Oh yeah,
No.
I liked him.
I liked him well enough.
He was one of my more
annoyed
favorite
me-
adults.
He was one of the better ones. But there's just one fucking scene, and this is just the movie's mission to make it so Ender will eventually win everybody over through his fucking charm or whatever.
Oh, the saluting?
Yeah, the first scene where he's like, "I would never salute you. I would kill you before that happened." And then like 2 weeks
I'll
pass. It's
kill
probably
you.
longer, but the movie is bad at showing
Right.
that. And then he's just like, "My team, will they follow me?" He's like, "You're goddamn right. I love you
Well,
like
okay.
a son."
With that, I feel like there is supposed to be like the unspoken thing of like Harrison Ford has practically told every single adult in this facility, this is going to be Space Jesus.
Well,
He's
I
gonna
don't
be
think
the one.
movie, it's like goes out and tells you, like, by the way, like he is in the military. This isn't like it's a school,
Right.
But it's also the military. He is at this rank, right? Like they tell you at the end that he's an admiral or whatever, right? But like they need to tell you beforehand,
Stupid.
like, oh yeah, he is now currently outranking like 95%
Sure.
like the military.
Well, even so, when he does the salute, he does it with a warm smile, and he's like, "Okay, I guess they're best buddies now."
No, that's why I'm thinking
No.
he
Don't
always
you
kind of
remember
No.
how nice and happy, friendly they are?
I
when
think-
the last conversation they had ended with him telling him to
No,
shut the
but
fuck up.
I think
That was
I think
so
they all
funny though.
I think they all like kind of liked the way he thought, so they didn't actually hate him, but he still needed to show the others that he's not going to get pushed around by a kid to kind of show they're not doing any favoritism. Like every other
so much though.
like
Dude,
well, yeah, but they can't show it like just blatantly because then every kid there is gonna know, hey, you're here for no fucking reason. You're here
No,
because
but
Ender needs you
It's
here.
so funny when he's like, I thought you said if I have a legitimate question, he's like, shut the
Don't
Here's a
speak
push-up.
unless spoken to, okay? Starts
And then he's
walking
like-
away. I thought it was legitimate.
He's just like, so wait. So even if I don't have a legitimate, shut the fuck up. And he's just like tweaking over
No,
there.
it's pretty
You're like-
funny. You can see the vein.
You're like,
popping
yeah,
out.
that's Ender's fucking young Sheldon coming through right
Yeah,
there.
fucking-
Like, goddamn.
That was a very young Sheldon moment, huh?
The one I wish that would have been easily solidifying that Ender thinks differently is at the very beginning when they go to assign like their locker. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they didn't do it in the movie, but he finds out that like the locker gonna respond to the first person that opens it, so he goes and like locks in like 3 lockers, so he's got like 3 extra lockers that only listen to him, and so like 3 other people are just like fucked without a locker.
Ender's
so then
really
he's just-
shitty, but in a funny way.
Like he's kind of a dickhead, but also
Yeah.
he's just like
'Cause he
he's doing it all
knows.
for himself, you know. He knows he's based as fuck. He's the Dragon Warrior.
Yeah.
Shout out to an earlier bit. Those that caught that.
Guys, remember when Marshall set him up for a future bit about 20 minutes ago?
Hey, that's the difference between us and other podcasts. We'll set up bits years in advance. Just
And by
in case.
years again, 20 minutes ago.
But no,
Also,
because we're
write
bad
down
at
our
showing the
bits.
passage of time. It's been about 2 years. So
Yeah.
no, I think they say like he's like, oh, you haven't gotten my emails. What the fuck, Valentine? It's been months or some shit like that.
Probably.
But like they don't like show that it's been a while. They should have shown like a lie
Aging.
in like a soul patch or something, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Would have gotten reading glasses.
Like
at some
Bernard
point.
Bernard gets a mohawk.
you know,
Oh,
just
that would have been sick.
no. I mean more like you're in middle school and everyone starts getting little hairs on their face for the first time
Yeah.
in their life, and everyone's like, ew, this is gross and it's
Like
disgusting.
Rico from Hannah Montana.
It would have
Yeah.
been better. Like, I knew, at least in my time, middle schoolers just generally weren't the best at hygiene regardless. These are military kids sleeping in bunkers, sucking and fucking all the time, right?
No, middle schoolers are sucking and fucking unless
They
you're like
should have. They should have just, in general, I think, been less kempt.
Yeah,
I mean, in the military, they probably wouldn't be. Not to that degree, anyway.
I think
No,
what-
one kid should have had a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
That's all.
Bonzo kind of did.
He just. God, that character.
Anyways,
Not fair,
off
'cause
with
he's
enough of the
30.
bun.
I can't think. I just can't fathom Bonzo.
Bonzo was the best actor in the whole movie.
He wasn't acting. He just actually
He
wanted
legitimately was 30.
I'm gonna refute your point and say Harrison Ford because that man's fucking hilarious every 5 minutes.
He fucking sucked in this movie, which isn't Harrison.
I mean,
fault,
he
but,
wasn't
like,
really present.
He just shows up every now and then. He's
Yeah.
like, God damn it, Ender, I need you to kill some goddamn bugs. And everyone's like, hey, what if we considered Ender as a child? No!
He's just gonna pick him up by his armpits and go, "You're gonna be called the exterminator," and just tosses him into the zero G.
They're like, have you considered the fact that they're children? Like, so when I was 5, I was bringing up horses. This is the same thing.
I killed my
make-
brother
no.
at the age of 6.
Wait. Everyone stop. Marshall.
I was
Did
going to
you-
make a point earlier, and Joe wouldn't shut the fuck up. But my point is that I think the issue this movie runs into is that the book and the adaptation is more of, like, yes, it's an action kind of deal with the battle school and all that fun stuff, but it's a lot in dealing with the psychological ramifications of what's going on, plus a lot of philosophical talk. There's a whole thing where, like, Eli and Ender spend like fucking forever talking about Jesus and Santa, and Eli worshiping, I think he's Hindu or something like that. So they just spend all this time discussing, you know, I believe in this, you believe in that. God damn it, never mind.
What?
And I lost my track. You guys hate
Oh.
me. No, you guys.
I'm sorry, I'm the fucking worst. I forgot.
He never was the same after his beloved Lenore left.
Also, I
Just
think
saying.
Eli
They're
might
trying
be
to make it
Muslim.
too actiony.
See, for me, the problem was the action that was in it fucking sucked. Like,
We needed more kids beating the shit out of each other.
No. Listen. That little bit where he like throws his guns forward and then hops over the little square and grabs
It was
his
so
guns
cool.
and then it was so fucking cool, Joe. Like, oh my god,
Listen,
the dopamine.
he was sailing forward like this though.
And then he does a sick little spin though.
But Jobe,
And
Jobe, it's because it's in 0G. He's not upside down or whatever.
I understand that.
He's right side up. There's no up in space. There's no down in
Don't
space.
understand. The enemy's goal is down because they're going to be squashed like an ant beneath my boots.
And then he's sitting there frozen because people are shooting him, and he's still smiling, going, "I got to hang out with Haley Seinfeld."
Boots.
Bam, bing, doo, doo, doo.
I do like how he plays Bones on like a goddamn fiddle. He's like, Bones, can I go speak to you outside? And Bones was like, you go, you fucking. He's like, Ender's like, now listen here, kid, I'll get you fucking ice.
You are
I got
2 whole feet smaller than me.
It's funny watching a 12-year-old literally talk to this 30-year-old man.
It's crazy.
Have you guys seen the Fallout show yet?
No.
Yeah.
Marshall keeps telling me to.
Great.
He says
watch it.
He says I'll like it. I don't know.
You will. But I'm just not sure.
I'm still watching other things that Madison's telling me to watch.
Vampire Diaries.
Vampire
Arr.
Diaries is one of them.
Check. Wait,
it's
Chris,
gonna
give me the signal.
Oh,
Ba-boing.
Ba-boing.
So Trace was telling me before we started recording that
I
he
don't
thought
know
of
if I
a
like where
fun
this is
theme
going.
song for the movie.
What?
Trace, do you want to give the audience?
I love that. Okay, no. So I love that you've prepared bits that are entirely reliant on Marshall and I, who have no idea what the fuck is going on in your bits.
So is that a no? Then?
Yeah, you do it. I told you what it is, right?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah, you got this. You go for it.
I just want the audience to remember that Trace wrote this.
Yep.
I'm just singing it. The sexy role
I
play.
hate this so much. You're the worst.
My new bit is Trace should be in jail.
Joe will write better bits for his next movie, we promise. He'll spend days, if not weeks, coming up with new bits.
And then we just
Anyway.
shit on every single one of them.
Yeah, I'll go, Jobe, this is stupid.
So, wow. Yeah, that's very different than what's happening now.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
would you guys handle the Formic threat? Would you try diplomacy?
If I was as smart as Ender, hell yeah.
I build a big old fucking military base in the sky. I call it Phil. It stands for something. It'll be Philharmonic, Hillharmonic, Ilharmonic.
All right, so
Laser.
planetary was just right there.
Yeah, but no, he needs the P for Philharmonic.
It's Philharmonic with an F. We're quirky like that.
But it's still, the ship is so called Phil with a PH.
Planetary Helix International Laser.
Laser. And then we just tell them, if you come near us, we got a big old fucking laser. Plus, we're also going to colonize everything around you. Suck my ass, kids. Stop having so many kids. Bye-bye. Something around those lines.
So I know again we're humans and got monkey brain in this situation, but like, so again, we know that they're ants. Why wouldn't we try to find a way to communicate with ants on Earth and then try to transfer that knowledge into the Formix and go, hey, are you trying to kill us, or was that just a big misunderstanding?
There was one guy, he said, we're going to send you humanity's greatest warrior, and send up a fucking fire ant, and they shot it out of the sky, so they didn't try that again. What a stupid fucking idea, Trace. Why wouldn't you just say, why wouldn't you just say, why can't we communicate them if their fucking planet is, they're all hiding underground? Why don't we just, live on top? They can dig into our fucking planet and hang out there. No.
What?
You're going to say some shit about communicating with ants.
Yeah,
They're
because
ants. They can live underground.
It's
They
a
can live
controlled
underground.
experiment. That's the whole reason science exists. We have a controlled experiment where they go, okay, these ants clearly can't kill us. It's a tiny little thing. It bit me. Ooh, ouch. No, we talk to the ants. We go, great, that worked. Let's see if we can get it translated over to the Formix. That way we don't walk in going, are you guys going to kill us? And then they just stab us because they don't know what we're saying.
So you think it's going to be easier just to talk to a fucking ant?
Yeah.
You think ants wouldn't have talked to us by then? You think they wouldn't have been like, hey, look at that ant. Is he going to say something?
Problem is, we'd have to build really small microphones to record what the ants are saying. And technology's just not
What
there
if you just
yet.
did one big one?
One big answer.
One big microphone for all the ants. They can speak
Well, then
together.
That's just a regular side microphone. That's just this microphone because it's huge to
ants there
them.
are in the world? You think all the ants in the world are going to fit under that tiny ass microphone?
We don't need all of them. We just need to know it works with ants.
Boy thinks he can juice with the big dogs.
Race. So you're
gonna do
thinking.
it.
So this
I'm
is the
gonna
thought
do it.
process.
I'm
Shut the
gonna-
fuck up. Everyone shut
I'm
the fuck
gonna
up.
do it.
No.
This makes sense.
Spencer.
The scientists are going to agree with me.
No.
We need a
So-
controlled environment where we can talk to ants so we can talk to the ant-like
Your
things with less
project would
risk.
get defunded and you would get shot in the back of the head.
Only because the humans are militaristic and want to blow up everything that's different from them. And I'm sitting here going, hey,
human trace.
maybe we talk to the ants. Maybe we converse with them in our heads.
Talk to
Okay,
the
they're
ants
just
'cause the
related.
face
They're
ain't
just
listening.
related.
Yeah,
Trace.
they're
not
distant
one-to-one.
cousins.
Why wouldn't you just talk to the fucking Formix and try that out?
Because it's a controlled environment. We clearly know an ant can't kill us, so we try it there first, and then we transfer that knowledge to a bigger thing, which will absolutely kill us if we just go,
Why
hi!
would you just try it with the Formic, and worst case, you got
Yeah.
fucking young
I mean,
Sheldon to kill them.
Why are we
Trace,
go-
the thing is, the ants haven't built intergalactic starships.
Right, they don't need to. If we're okay,
They have water.
if we are comparing these creatures to ants so much so that we now know Ender knows everything he needs to know about them to win the war, then
The only thing he needed to know was he had a fucking laser that could destroy them
no. He needed to look at the fucking formations. He needed to look at the patterns.
Why?
I'm,
At what point does it
all
even come
I'm
up?
saying.
Oh,
is-
I've seen the formations. Now I know how to use my giant
Oh,
fuck
I've
up
seen the
laser to-
formations that ants rock around in, and I could
Rock
translate
around?
that. I'm gonna kill
Rocking
myself.
around.
Fucking idiot. Credibility
Trace,
down.
Which bit was worse, the theme song bit or us arguing over the intelligence of ants?
No, that one's just funny. Because it has some scientific basis that you guys refuse to acknowledge.
No, it's just bad. It's just
No,
bad.
it makes sense.
There's a quirky little detail to show again how stupid the humans are in this movie.
You
The-
like jazz?
Yeah. The fucking Formics are just harvesting water off of like meteors and shit.
It's ice actually, and it'll later turn into water.
Boy,
'Cause ice and water are very similar, Jobe.
Technically, they're the same because they're both H2O, but in different forms, kind of. You know, in ice, the H2O is like, ooh, we're together. And then in water, it's like, hey, we're good.
So if someone handed you an ice cube and some fucking water, you say, yeah, these are the exact same thing.
On a molecular level, yes.
On a molecular level. Yeah. Kid.
So,
Yeah, champ. You know
right.
about molecules?
What's ice?
Huh?
What's ice? Is it H2O? What's water?
It is.
Also H2O?
Well, they're not.
Oh!
Ice is going like this.
here's the
Hey,
question.
clouds
Like this.
also H2O, but in gas form.
Am I made up of my cells?
What?
Or are your cells made up of mayo? Oh,
So yeah, this has been
Both.
a great episode so far.
I hate Trace. Trace is
yeah,
just
I
fucking
bet.
Stupid.
I bet.
Wait,
Yeah,
what'd you
yeah,
guess?
I'm stupid. Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, is that it?
Ooh.
Huh?
Tension in the fucking
Studio.
We're done. We're done. Cut it off. Joe, what'd you do of this
No.
fucking movie?
So
Yes.
wow, we've all made some pretty good points about the quality of this movie.
Some more bullshit he wrote down.
Overall, no, it's not. As you can see here,
He's an
Where's my
improv
rank?
major.
I worked through all the bits. Overall, though, I feel like this movie is quite flawed in many areas, and I wouldn't watch it again without the sole purpose of making fun of it. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Like such, it's fair. Fair is fair. Marshall.
Yeah. My name is Marshall. I enjoy this movie. I feel like it could be a lot better. I'm gonna give it 6.412566.
Look at that. We're all doing good. I feel like it's a good enough film, but it still leaves a lot to be desired. I think we talked a lot about it with the pacing and stuff, but in the movie's perspective, at least, it seems like he's jumping through the ranks really very quickly, and which, you know, given the sense of urgency would make sense, but I feel like the smartest kid in 5th grade should be able to figure out that he's being promoted too quickly, even for, you know, a military, for virtually really no reason. So, you know, I would be interested in a sequel, but I understand why they didn't make one. And if they did, I probably just wouldn't expect it to be very good.
Because the book takes place 3,000 years after the first one, but Ender's only like 25 because he's in cryostasis, fucking taking
Yeah, well,
this
that makes sense.
queen egg across the fucking galaxy to repopulate.
My other thing with that whole ending, though, is that he's like, well, because I'm an admiral, they left me to my own device. Dude, they sedated you like a couple minutes ago, and then you went off base and grabbed an egg. How'd you smuggle?
To just fuck off to the middle of nowhere?
What if he was 13?
But how did he smuggle that shit back into the military and just go, yeah, I need a ship now. I'm actually okay with everything you did. I agree. I'm really sorry about what I did and how I reacted. I will now accept the role as your hero. Give me a ship.
Is it shown in the movie that there's like people that are like trying to get him for becoming a mass murderer? Like immediately there's like protesters. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
In the movie, everyone except Ender doesn't have a hangover about the whole genocide thing. Think about it this way.
It's pretty cool.
We, for the first time, know there is other life in the galaxy, and then this dipshit wipes it the fuck out.
Well, I think it wasn't like, you know, right after. I think the first invasion war was like 50 years prior or something.
But
50 years and nobody thought to themselves, maybe instead of wiping these people out, we could finally take solace knowing we aren't alone in the
because they're too busy fucking trying to.
We're humans and they look different.
For 50 years, they tried talking to the ants. It didn't work. Now we do it my way.
No, fucking Harrison Ford's sitting there listening to some scientists trying to talk to ants. He's like, no, look, I swear they're talking to me, and all the ants are just sitting there. No.
They just have a fucking cup to an anthill, and they're like, I think I got something. No.
All right, Trace,
They say the Formics want war.
Trace, what's your score?
I give it a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Hey, everybody, listen up. It's
Very
me.
mid, but okay.
This is the end of the episode. We'd like to thank everybody for... Don't say anything, Joe. Don't even think about it. We'd like to thank everybody for listening. To all our family and friends that listen to this. God help you. You can catch us everywhere.
Where can they find us next?
YouTube. Anywhere you watch fucking podcasts.
Wow.
We post TikToks every now and then.
What?
Under Film
Who
Bluffs
are
Pod.
we?
Next week, it's a Jobe pick. And
Jobe movie. Jobe, what do you...
the Bandit.
Oh, okay, I guess we're just skipping
Smokey
over
and the
Jobe's
Bandit?
part.
No,
Burt
I've
Reynolds
always said the title of the fucking movie.
I'm pretty sure we've always argued over
We
this.
have. We've
I don't think there's
consistently...
been a week we haven't argued about
We've
this.
consistently argued about who gets to say what, and I like to keep the conflict going.
Anyway, if you think this was the best episode ever, like it up.
If
Can
you
we
think
hit
it
100,000
sucked,
views?
No.
like it up.
Okay.
If you didn't like it, come on over and watch the next movie with me.
Come on, what?